Stampers, Kim from stampingandperfection.com. Welcome to my craft room. I've been playing around today. Finally, I had a chance to play around, and I've been playing with different effects of embossing folders. So I wanted to try something to make a snowy looking scene, and there are a few ways to do it. And I want to use my lovely as a tree. And I have to say, I treated myself, because I use the stamp set so much and in so many different ways, I treated myself to a second set of this, because I wish they'd make this in photopolymer, to be perfectly honest, since I love photopolymer so much now. I wanted to have a little bit more control, because with this I can't always see where I'm stamping. With this I'll be able to see a little bit better. So I want to stamp a few of these, and what I'm going to do is I want to stamp them in like layers, so it looks like we're looking at a forest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink it up, and I'm using Mossy Meadow, and I'm not inking the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to just ink this up, and then I'll stamp off a couple of times each time I do it. And as I stamp off, I'm going to go up the paper. And I have to tell you, you can see from my hands, I have just been playing like all day with different techniques. Okay, so I'm going to do this a few times till I have what I consider to be enough trees on here. Not sure if you can have too many trees. Okay, so again, I love this lovely. If you do not own this stamp set, this is like something that should be on your wish list. Because you can see, like, I use this. This is really grungy looking stamp, and it still stamps beautifully. That might be good. That might actually be good. I think I might leave it at that. Let's see. Yep, I should have left it at that. I might have one too many up in that corner now. Okay, so I've got that. And I've done a video on how to do the snow effects, but I'm thinking I just still want to do a little bit of snow effects. So I'm going to take another piece of cardstock and just cut out my hill. My snowbank hill. There we go. I'm going to try soft sky. I'll start light. And I just want to create a little bit of a snowbank effect. So I'm just going to go like this. And I'm making it really light, super light. Like that. And I'm going to bring this down. I just want to finish it off over here to get it to go off the card like that. And then I'll move this down a little bit and over so it looks like mounding in different places. And do the same thing again. Okay, and just kind of gently do that. And I could create some snowbanks, you know, where the other trees have, where the stumps are showing. I can create like a little hill there. So it looks like it's the base of it's covered in, you know, a nice snowbank. So you get this like snowy hill effect. Which is kind of fun. And you can use, you know, certainly pick whatever color you want. Another fun thing that last year, when I went to Stampin' Up! Last year, one of the gals did this winter card, and she used this dazzling details and just put that along everywhere she made a snowy pile, and it looked pretty cool, I have to say. I loved the effect. I'm just going to go along the bottom of my card a little bit. So you get kind of a snowbank effect. You see that? And you know, you can do it as thick as you want, as thin as you want, but you get this little snowy effect. Okay? So you know, it's kind of like you're out in the woods on a snowy day. You've got snow drifting around the trees. You can layer in colors if you like. You can do things behind the trees, you know, to make it really look. You know, it's up to you. Play with it, see what kinds of effects you like. It's all about experimenting. Like, that's the whole point of what I'm doing today, is I'm experimenting to see what I can create with the tools that I have. And, ooh, I like that even more. I want to put one down here also. By this tree. Need to go a little below it. And I do want to go a little below it and create you know, a bank up there. Oh, look at that. That's so pretty. How subtle is that? That's just so subtle and pretty. Now, another thing that I want to do is I want to make it look like it's snowing. And I've experimented with this embossing folder that's supposed to look like snow. And I've tried a couple different effects. This was one of them, where I embossed it and then rubbed my Versamark pad over, and it looks like a blizzard. So I have to come up with a better technique for putting my Versamark ink on. And I didn't like this one. So what I would like to try now is, we have a couple of stamp sets, but ever since I've got this gorgeous grunge. Now keep in mind also, we do actually have a couple Christmas stamp sets. I'm trying to think of which one it is. I think there are at least two where they have like snowflakes. But I don't want it to look like snowflakes. I'd rather this looks a little bit more realistic. And I wanted to use this for snow for a while. So I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to live on the wild side. Okay, so I've got this, and I'm just going to use my Versamark and ink up my Versamark, and I'm just going to stamp this around. Try to get as much of it as I can. You know, get those dots all over the place. And it's hard to see where you've stamped, so you have to pick it up and kind of move it around, because I've done a lot of stamping and sponging on this card, so it's hard to see where those dots are right now. Okay, so let's try that. If I want to add more, I can always add more. So I'm going to bring over my scrap paper, and I'm going to use white embossing powder, of course. Looks like very vanilla right now, but it does come out really white and shiny. And I'm just going to roll it around so I've covered the whole top of the card. And, ooh, I got quite a bit on here. Okay, I'm going to set that aside very carefully, and then I'm going to pour this back in. So when I heat set my card, I don't heat set the entire contents of this embossing powder thing. Okay. And now I'm gonna take my heat tool, and notice I didn't use my my embossing buddy, And this is going to be very subtle, and already the snow flakes are pretty subtle. Like, it looks like falling snow, but you can't really see it where you are, probably. Okay, so I've got that. Something that you can do to play with, you could cut this down to make any size that you want, put a mat or two behind it, layer some mats behind it, and create yourself a card. Add a little sentiment. I've got plenty of room down here to add a sentiment directly onto this. So I could stamp directly onto this, or I could put a sentiment on a separate piece and actually create something really pretty with it. So there you go. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this technique video.